Park Bo-gum opens up the heartbreaking message Kim Yuyong never expected. He's always been the calm, composed face of the Korean entertainment world. Park Bo-gum, known for his gentle smile and quiet charm, has rarely let his guard down in front of the media. But recently, that silence was broken, and in the most unexpected way. A message. Not spoken, not tweeted, not captured in an interview, but written, private, heartfelt, and addressed to none other than Kim Yuyong. This letter, which surfaced through an anonymous source close to Park Bo-gum, wasn't meant for public eyes. It wasn't crafted for headlines. It wasn't designed for fans. It was meant for one person, the woman who, for years, has remained at the center of rumors, speculation, and maybe something more. The story between Park Bo-gum and Kim Yuyong is nothing new to longtime fans. Their undeniable chemistry in Love in the Moonlight wasn't just acting. At least, that's what the public believed. Off-screen, they shared moments that couldn't be easily dismissed as mere fan service. From quiet glances at award shows to secret smiles behind stage curtains, every move they made together sparked a question. Was it real? Years have passed since that drama aired, and both stars have taken separate paths. Park Bo-gum stepped into his military service with grace and dignity, while Kim Yuyong bloomed in her own right, taking on diverse roles that pushed her acting boundaries. But even as they worked apart, their names continued to be paired, whispered in fan circles and speculated on in online forums. Now, that whisper has grown louder. The letter begins simply, a salutation that fans might never hear, yet speaks volumes. Dear Yuyong, it read, there are things I've kept to myself for far too long. The rest, as revealed by the source, paints a picture of quiet admiration, of moments remembered with startling clarity. He speaks of filming late into the night, of the way her laughter lingered after a scene was cut. He writes about her strength, her passion for acting, and how he often found himself watching her even when the cameras. But the most striking part? The regret. Park Bo-gum writes about time, the time they had, and the time they lost. I should have said more, one line reads. I should have told you what I felt before I left. Was he referring to his enlistment, or something much deeper? The ambiguity only makes the message more powerful. In the entertainment world, privacy is currency. Stars protect their hearts like national secrets, and rarely does something this raw slip through the cracks. That's why this letter, this quiet confession, has shaken fans to their core. Because it's not just a piece of paper. It's a glimpse into the soul of someone who rarely shows his. Kim Yoo-jung's camp has yet to respond, at least officially. But those close to her claim she was taken aback by the message. Not because she didn't suspect Park Bo-gum's feelings, but because of the depth he revealed. It was like opening a time capsule, one insider said. It brought back everything, the memories, the smiles, and maybe even the pain. And now, fans are left wondering, is this the beginning of something, or the end? The timing of the letter is also worth noting. Park Bo-gum has just wrapped up his latest fan meeting tour, where he's been more emotionally open than ever before. He spoke about love, not the romantic kind, but the kind that lingers, that changes you. Some believe those were veiled references to Kim Yuyong. He also mentioned in a Q&A that his biggest regret was not expressing himself clearly when it mattered most. Was this his way of rewriting the past? Those who followed both stars for years can't ignore how their stories have remained intertwined. Even without shared projects, they seem to mirror each other's lives. Kim Yoo-jung's recent interview, where she said, sometimes the people you miss the most are the ones you never got to say goodbye to, struck a chord with fans, especially after the letter came to light. Could it be that both of them have been quietly carrying the weight of what could have been? It's not just fans who are moved. Fellow actors, stylists, and staff who've worked with them have started sharing subtle messages online, nostalgic photos from the Moonlight set, old quotes, even cryptic emojis. It's as if the industry itself is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. And yet, this isn't just a love story. It's a lesson about missed chances, unspoken feelings, and the courage it takes to be vulnerable in a world that rewards silence. Park Bo-gum's letter, whether it reaches Kim Yoo-jung's hands or not, is already making waves. It's a reminder that even the most polished stars are human. They feel, they regret, they hope, What happens next is anyone's guess. Will Kim Yoo Jung respond? Will they meet quietly, away from cameras, and finally have the conversation they never did? Or will this letter remain a bittersweet chapter, a beautiful, unfinished melody? As fans, all we can do is watch, hope, and maybe believe that some connections are too strong to fade, no matter how much time passes. Park Bo-gum's words may have been written in silence, but they now echo loudly in the hearts of millions. And for Kim Yoo-jung, maybe, just maybe, it was the message she needed to hear all along. Stay tuned to K-Drama Cycle for the next chapter in this unfolding story. And just when fans thought they had heard it all, a handwritten letter surfaced online, allegedly from Park Bo-gum himself. While neither he nor his agency confirmed the leak, the style, the penmanship, and the emotional depth were unmistakably his. The letter wasn't addressed to a name, but the references were enough for eagle-eyed fans to connect the dots. In the letter, Park Bo-gum expressed gratitude for someone who stood quietly in the background during storms and who believed in his heart when he doubted it most. He spoke of missed chances, moments he wished he could relive, and the pain of letting silence speak louder than truth. One line stood out, echoing across online communities like a haunting refrain. I never said the words, but maybe you always knew. That one line had fans in a frenzy. Could it be that Park Bo-gum had long harbored feelings for Kim Yuyong, feelings he kept buried for the sake of career, timing, or even fear? At the same time, fans noticed that Kim Yoo-jung posted a single photo on her Instagram story the day the letter leaked. It was a photo of the sea, with the caption, "Some things are said without being spoken." If that wasn't a poetic echo to Bo-gum's letter, fans don't know what is. But this isn't just about speculation. It's about the emotional weight behind both their actions. Bo-gum has always been known for being composed, soft-spoken, and deeply introspective. His words carry meaning, and his silences often say more than speeches. To pen such an emotional letter, whether meant to be seen or not, signals a vulnerability he rarely allows the public to witness. For Kim Yuyong, this kind of subtle nod isn't unusual. She's always been elegant in the way she navigates her private life. She chooses grace over gossip, silence over spectacle. But this time, fans could feel that her message wasn't just reflective, it was responsive. And then came the wave of media response. Tabloids began tracking their movements again, noting how their schedules may have crossed paths in the past few months. Though both their agencies denied any ongoing romantic relationship, the public wasn't convinced. Not when both stars were acting in sync emotionally. More recently, a close friend of Kim Yoo-jung was overheard on set mentioning she's finally allowing herself to feel what she always tucked away. No names were mentioned, but given the context, many assumed it was in relation to Bo-gum. Meanwhile, Park Bo-gum was spotted visiting a filming location where Yoo-jung was rumored to be guest starring. While his agency claimed it was to support a friend on the team, fans couldn't ignore the timing. And if that weren't enough, netizens uncovered that both stars were recently listening to the same song on their Spotify accounts. The song, Love, Maybe, the OST known for its bittersweet melody about timing and regret. Coincidence? Maybe. But to loyal fans who followed their journey from co-stars to friends, and possibly something more, it feels like a slow-burning story of love delayed but never denied. Industry insiders have now begun whispering about a joint commercial shoot lined up for late fall. If true, it would be their first on-screen reunion in over 5 years. Agencies are staying quiet, but with all the current buzz, it's only a matter of time before the two are brought together again, professionally or otherwise. At this point, the most compelling part of this story isn't whether Park Bo-gum and Kim Yuyong are officially dating. It's the emotional evolution of two people who clearly care for one another on a deep level. Bo-gum's message may never have been meant for the world to see. But now that it's out there, it's a powerful testament to quiet love, the kind that waits, that listens, and that finds its voice in unexpected moments. And maybe that's why it resonated so deeply. Because in a world obsessed with instant gratification, their story reminds us that some bonds grow in the shadows, watered by patience and trust. Whether this ends in romance or remains a beautiful friendship, what's certain is this. Park Bo-gum and Kim Yuyong have a connection that transcends screenplays and fan service. They are each other's anchor in ways that defy definition. And that letter, that message she never expected. It may not have ended with a declaration of love, but it did something more. It opened a door to possibility, healing, and maybe, just maybe, a second chance. Only time will tell what lies ahead. But for now, the world watches and waits, hearts full of hope and eyes on the horizon. Because this isn't just a story. This is K-drama cycle, and this is real life unfolding, one quiet moment at a time.